So, Councillor Pervez, thanks for meeting me today. Could you just give me a very brief outline as to what the budget is and where the pressures are coming from to cut millions of pounds every year?
Okay, well, every year the council needs to set a balanced budget for the following year. So this year we've started the consultation process today, and we need to set a legal budget for next year by the end of February. Full council will come together in the form of a full council meeting specifically designated to talk about the budget, and we will agree a set of saving proposals which will help us use the money that we've got and ensure that we're not overspending. In terms of the next year's pressures, they broadly speaking come from three areas. There are the £8 million worth of direct government cuts. There are £11 million worth of unavoidable cost pressures. And finally, there is the £5 million where we are saving to invest in our mandate for change, and part of that will help to stimulate the economy of the city and give the private sector the ability to invest and create jobs for the city.
The city centre is clearly a massive focal point for the council. The new bus station, City Central, plans for ring road extensions, the public realm improvements, the business grants, a new hotel perhaps. Is there any danger that the council is forgetting other parts of the city?
I mean, we're not forgetting other parts of the city. We do have a single city approach, but in order for the one city approach to work, the other 5 towns need to function as market towns. By bringing footfall into the city centre, hopefully people will then see the attractions that are within the other 5 towns and start visiting those as well.
There are some community services which under the budget proposals face an uncertain future. The Echuria Industrial Museum, Ford Green Hall and the Wedgwood Conference Centre all face uncertainty. Despite huge campaigns last year to save Tunstall and Shelton swimming pools, they were still closed. So can anything actually be done this year to save those communities?
I mean, if there is an organisation or the community comes forward and says they've got a business case where they can keep those facilities open and run them, then we will look at that very favourably and do everything in our possible to facilitate this. However, I think based on the experience with 1 or 2 facilities, there is at times lack of capacity within the community to first of all put forward a business plan, and secondly, once people get the full picture of what the cost pressures will be, generally they tend to shy away because there aren't any, these are not commercially viable businesses to run. However, we are still continuing dialogue, for instance with the case of Ford Green Hall, and hopefully the community will be able to take those facilities.
And at the Civic Centre, some changes may be introduced with the abolition of the Lord Mayor's ceremonial duties and his chauffeur car. Instead, he will simply be the City Council Chairman. Is this money-saving modernisation, or is it the destruction of city heritage?
The Lord Mayor is not part of the city heritage, I have to say. The city heritage comes from our industries that we've had, for instance, the ceramics and so on. We're not abolishing the role of the Lord Mayor. It's basically all the things and the duties that we're trying to cut back on, and it's only a proposal at this stage. We want to enter into a meaningful dialogue with the people of our city, with politicians, and see what they think to this proposal.
So students are a huge part of the Stoke-on-Trent economy. Is anything being done in the budget which could affect the lives of students at Staffordshire University in Stoke?
I mean, we will continue to develop the university quarter. We're working closely with the universities. I think what we're looking for is making sure that our universities are aligned with the business communities so that the students come out of universities well equipped to enter the competitive job market, and that's going to be absolutely crucial.
Can you tell us a bit about the politics behind it? So it's being proposed today. Are those proposals automatically backed by yourself as leader of the council and the Labour group as the plan of what we want to do, or are they still just proposals set by the council?
The Labour group has not seen those proposals yet because there are job losses involved in these budget proposals. It was important that our staff actually hear from us that their jobs could be under threat rather than reading it in the paper. Therefore, we have chosen today to put the whole of those saving proposals in the public domain, and Labour group councillors have actually seen those today as well. Over the next few weeks, they will look through those proposals, scrutinising the ordinary scrutiny committees, and come together to say which they accept, which they don't accept, whilst keeping an eye on the fact that we have to balance the budget at the end of the year. So,
and how can the public get involved in the budget? Like you say, there's a consultation period for the public to have their say and see what they think.
Today,
how does that happen?
Today we put the budget proposals in the public domain. Our city magazine will go out to residents later this week. Basically, there was a feature in there showing residents how they could get in touch. We want to hear people's views. The budget proposals will be put on our website. We will go out into the communities and talk to residents so that at the end of the year or early next year, we would look at all that feedback before making any final decisions on the budget. These are very tough times. Government has given us some of the worst settlement in the country, and we have to manage and pull the city through these tough times. And inevitably, there will be people who will be upset by some of the savings proposals that are there, but we have been elected to make a decision, and we will make a decision whilst listening to the concerns of